Okay guys, so here we are again. We're going to do something a little different. Anyways, I got another skull. And this skull has a chain hooked to it. Okay, I just hot glued it on there. We're going to leave the chain because he's going to be part of this build, okay? He's already got a hole in the top, as you can see, because I had a candle down in there. Okay, we're going to put this candle piece back through. So, there's that part. Yes, we're going to use another clear bottle. So, I have a thing with using clear bottles lately. Okay, so put that to the side. Okay. Here is a light that I found in a thrift store. Okay, there's a bottom, there's a top. So what I'm thinking, we're going to take this apart, okay? We're going to undo this. Take this off. Let's take this out. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll take let's take this part. Okay. So you can take this off. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is we're going to put this through with the bolt zipper. Okay, we have to end cutting this bolt down, but bolt. I'm going to put this bolt through here. After we cut it down, let's come back through here. Okay, we'll end up putting it like this, okay? Right there, we'll cut that bolt to the size that we want. That's so we can tighten this back down. So now we took it from that lamp to a lantern, okay? So here's this part. What I'm thinking, this is going to end up coming through here. Okay, it's going to go down on there. Let me move my hand out of the way. Okay, then this chain is going to be coming around. And hook back onto the skull. Okay, you guys with me? Okay. So, that's the rough idea, okay, to the build. Then, this plastic apple juice bottle, what I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to make this piece right here when you take this off. See how it'll fit inside there? Well then, this I'm going to cut it off where I want. I'm going to put the skeleton in there, okay? And then we're going to jag this up so it looks like broken glass, okay? And that'll be in the bottom of this piece, okay? You can see that, okay? Then the top of the bottle here, we're going to cut it off, and that's what will be on the top part. Okay, so it's going to look like a busted lantern. So that's the idea, okay? So next, I think this time we're going to start with the skull. So we got to make this skull look a lot cooler. So I think we're going to do that. I'm going to start molding him in, make one side of him, well, depending how I do it, a lot of it looked like a kid. You can still tell it was a kid, okay? And then other parts we're going to leave the skull. So it looks like it's his skull and that, and like the candle's mellowed down and part of his flesh is still on. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to start doing the skull, and we'll go from there. Okay, you can see I cleaned up the skull. Okay, so he's ready to go. And I had these eyeballs from Family Dollar. I thought, hey, maybe these will work, right? Yeah, not so much. It's too big. So I'm gonna have to make my own eyeball. So I'm gonna go ahead and make me an eyeball for him. I want to decide to have an eye. Okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get that eye made, and then I'll be back to show you. Here's the skull, which I already showed you once. Haha. Anyways, I cut out the eye. Like I was telling you guys, the other eyes were too big, so I made my own eye. Okay. And what I'm getting now is I'm going to glue this eye in. Okay. And then we're going to come back with a little bit of the glow in the dark after you glue it in, and we're going to paint around it a little bit. Okay, so I'll be right back after I glue this eye in. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I glued that eye in that I made. Okay, and I got that glow in the dark I was telling you about. I'm going to go ahead and see how this works out. I want to paint some of this glow in the dark around this eye, and hopefully it works. Okay guys, so see I went ahead and put the first coat. Hey, that's the best shot. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I'll probably put like 2 more coats, make sure this hopefully glows like it says it does. Okay, so I'm just going to finish that up, and it's getting late, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow and we'll keep going. See you then. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take some molding clay and start filling in around the eye. There's my dogs like normal.
Stop. Sorry about the dogs, guys. But if you've been on our channel, you know what it's like.
You know we got dogs and they like to bark. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to have half the face, maybe a little bit more, still a child, still a person, okay? And parts of it will be a skull. So I'm just going to keep holding it in. Trying to get a lot of this big part filled in and kind of give you guys a rough idea of what I'm doing. So I can get the rough part. See, this is just rough. I'll come back with a little bit of water in a cup and I'll smooth it. So, starting to get there. Oh, guess that's better. I don't even see it. Okay. So let's get some more clay and we'll keep going for a minute here. So we gotta make some kind of nose. But I was thinking first we'll kind of take some of this clay and see if we can fill in this cheek on this side. Seems how this side still has flesh. Let's see, I'm just kind of go up the skull and we'll see. Let me get it together here. Got on this side, that's about the shape of the nose on this side. See? Okay, hold on, guys. Forget that. Oh, get to the camera right for you guys. Okay, see what I'm doing? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more down here. So far and around these teeth. Okay? So this is my idea. So I'm just making a half nose. I'm gonna fill this other part in, and what I just tell you, a little bit of water to smooth this out. Make him or her look a little better. Okay guys, so here we are. This is how I did my skull. So I just wanted to have half of the face, all the other parts boned. Okay? So, see, I put the clay on, took water, just in a cup. You can bite your fingers when you get it close, and you can just rub it to shape it how you want yours. Obviously, we're gonna have to let this dry, come back, clean up the eye. Okay, so this can take a little bit to dry. So while this is drying, we'll start working on the lantern. Okay, so see you in a little bit. Okay, guys. So I showed you how I did my light, and I took the sandpaper and I just scuffed the whole thing. Okay. So what I'm thinking of doing now, take another jug, from just the apple jug, the apple juice, taking the lid off here. Obviously I'll take that little yellow piece off and the paper off. I think I'm going to cut the top part off and use this top piece right here, okay? To put in the top part of this light. And then I'm going to jag this up to make it look broken. Okay, so when I put it in here, it'll look like broken glass, like this was a lantern at one time that was busted. Okay, so that's where I'm at. I'm going to cut this jug, figure out how I want it to go in here, and then I'll probably, well, obviously then I'm going to paint the lamp, and I'm going to experiment on this with some different paint and stuff and make it look how I want it to look, and I'll tell you what I did. So then after that, I'll take that broken glass piece that I make and glue it into here. Okay? So that's where I'm at. Make it a little farther along, I'll show you. So here's the top part of that apple juice jug. Okay? Can you see how I kind of took pieces out? Kind of make it look broken. And what I thought was cool about it is, see how it's got the pattern? Doesn't that remind you like this was a really fancy light at one time? You know, and it had this pretty shape. So what I'm going to do, see, I could showing you, see, I'm going to glue it in the top like that. So it looks like the top part of the lantern has a little bit of glass left. Okay. And I kept all the little pieces that I cut out right here. And I'm going to take these little chunks. I got some bigger ones and some smaller shards. And when it's done, we're going to take these and we're going to come back. And I'm going to glue some on the bottom of here like they're just broken. And these pieces are still just laying on the bottom of the lamp. Okay? So that's where I'm at. So here we are. Here's our skull. So I figure we're going to take a little paint now.
Little paint.
A little paint. And see if we can make it look like something.
That is so freaky looking. Scary.
It's got to be scary, right? Not too scary, people. Just a little scary.
It's gotta be a little scary, but not gory scary, right?
Right.
Just a little scary.
Yeah, we don't want to make it too scary.
Mixing some white up with some tan?
Yes, I just got some white paint and some mocha.
Mocha.
It's mocha.
Oh.
Because she can't be too, or he, depending on what it ends up being, too cheery, right? Because she's obviously not having a good time. So.
Can you tell me about that peeling or whatever?
Oh, yes. So seems how this is a plastic skull.
Try to find one that's not plastic.
So if you can find one that's not plastic, but this one happens to be one of those from Family Dollar, whatever that's plastic. And everybody knows stuff has a hard time sticking to plastic.
Yeah, so it's gonna peel, and if you guys wanna, he's showing you, but if you can find one that's not plastic, then you won't have this issue like that.
Yes.
I don't think so, right?
Right. So I just sanded the spot where I want the putty to go. Okay, and then when I figured I put the clay on, I knew it was going to crack, and it did. But then I went back and just filled it back in.
Like a plaster of Paris one that somebody, you know.
Yeah, but if not, you can do like I did this one and just
Keep
let it crack and refill it in. And if it cracks a little bit again, you could touch up one more time, you know, or you might like the cracks and want to just leave the cracks.
Well, and you just know it's not going to last forever, and it's just a decoration. If you don't find the right, if you just have a plastic one, I mean.
Yeah.
But it's Halloween. I mean, it's decoration time.
Now when this is all done, I'll probably put some seal or something over to keep it from cracking.
Oh,
That'll probably help seal it in.
That's a good idea.
But
it's way cool.
We're not too worried about getting too big. It's just for fun, right? It's for Halloween.
Yeah.
You might build this year and then not want to have it out next year or something. I don't know.
Might want to build something else.
But we're just giving you guys a fun alternative, something we could do that's cheap. It's kind of fun to play with this. What's this clay called?
Modeling clay.
The modeling clay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this. First, you know, like my wife says, it can.
Yeah, it's not.
It can crack and this and that, you know, and hey, that's the whole fun of trying to build this stuff, right? You're not always sure what it's going to do. Until I always just do everything on the run as I go. I don't take the time and try to pre-build something. I just...
Too busy for that.
I just do it as we go, guys.
Yeah.
But see, I'm getting her... Get my hand out of the way. Can you see it?
Go there.
The color? Better bring it up to the camera here.
Yeah.
There we go. Can you see the skin tone that we're kind of putting on there? Anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'm just dabbing this paint on there. Then I figure we'll come back with a little black and maybe some white and dilute it down a little bit and put a little black around the eye now, you know what I mean? Because obviously she's been dead, or he. See, I'm not sure what it'll end up being, a he or she. We'll find out when we get the hair on. What we think he or she looks like.
Human.
Yeah, so I was trying to give you guys a different idea, something different to do, you know. And hopefully, you know, you guys like this build and want to try it. Okay, guys. So anyways, here we go. Okay. Now obviously if you look at the eye, I gotta touch it up. The paint, I gotta touch up, wipe it off a little bit and touch it up. And then we'll come back with some clear glue and we'll put over the eye to kind of give a little bit of a glaze and kind of protect the paint. So now let's take and get a little bit of black paint and a little bit of white and see if we can kind of put a little bit of gray around the eye. So let me get a different paintbrush here. Okay, let's get just a little bit of white. Shouldn't take too much white. Get my paintbrush cleaned off here, guys. This was my wife's idea.
No, it wasn't. That's funny. You guys, 99.9% of the time, they're not my ideas.
See that?
I mean,
She never agrees with me.
well, it's true. I'm just saying the truth. It is not the case.
So I got me a little bit of gray, just diluted down black and white, and adds a little bit of water to it. So I'm gonna see if we can put just a A little bit of gray around this eye.
Yeah,
You see it?
that's better. Now they can see it. Sort of.
Sorry. I'm trying to get the hang of where to
Adjust the
put this
camera.
camera so I, you know.
Let me adjust the.
Maybe my wife can adjust that camera a bit so you guys can see.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, let's go a little bit in here. This part of the flesh here is a little bit starting to rot, right? And over here on this side of the teeth too, let's put just a little here where, you know, looks like this is kind of rotten right here. Something like that. So let me get a little bit smaller paintbrush so I can touch up around the eye just a little bit better. Let's gotta touch up around this eye just a little bit more. Geez, you think this would be easier, huh? Well, I don't have the steadiest hand. Okay guys, I think we're going to go with that. Okay. So, let's get a little bit of red or something so you can put just a little bit of color on the lips. You could tell at one time they was lips. Let's see, should I put a little red there or a little pink?
I don't know.
Well, I had just a light little bit of color. Obviously there's not going to be a lot because they're dead. So I'm going to add just a tiny drop around the lips. I don't get too much paint.
They're zombified.
Yeah.
Starting to go zombified.
So let's see if we can show you guys. Let's add just a little bit of color around the.
Let's see.
Just a tiny drop. See guys, just a little bit of color so you can tell his lips at one time. Okay. So now, the fun part is going to be, I'm going to hurry and get, I have a wig, wherever I sat it. Where did I sit the
You
wig?
just had it.
What did I
I
do?
don't know.
Is it sitting
Right
on?
here. Here's the wig.
So what I'm going to do now guys is get
You got this old wig.
this old wig that we got at a thrift store, okay? Now obviously we're not going to need much hair, but we're just going to take the scissors and cut off just a little bit of hair because I want to put an eyebrow right here and a little bit of hair on the head where there's a little bit of the hair left. Okay, so guys, just give me a minute. I'm going to clean up my paintbrushes right here, cut a little bit of hair. Okay guys, so here we go. So I went ahead and started this so I could show you guys what I'm up to. Get this up so you guys can see. Okay, can you see where I started adding some hair? So I took that wig and I'm cutting some hair off. And I took some contact, some spray glue, and I sprayed on the spots where I want to put some hair, okay? Now I'm slowly coming back with some tweezers. Okay? And I'm just adding a little bit at a time where I want it, and then kind of taking the other end of the tweezers and just dabbing it down. And I figure I can take these tweezers and kind of separate the hair where I want it. Maybe have some hang down over in front of the face. Okay? And I took a little bit of that hair and cut it really fine, if you noticed, and I made an eyebrow. And I glued it on there. Okay? So that's what I'm up to. See, if you look, here's the hair. I just cut the section off. I'm just taking what I want. And I'm going along and putting the hair on there. Okay. Oh, and I went ahead and made some gray paint and put out of this socket and on some of the cracks and stuff, okay, to give it some highlights. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this hair up how I want it. Okay guys, so we're back. I can show you. Okay. So here's our person. Okay, I even put a little hair on this side. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back with the paintbrush, okay? And we're going to put a little line of black below the eye and above the eye so it stands out a little bit more, okay? Then I'm going to come back with a little bit of white paint. It's a little bit brighter and just whiten up a couple of these teeth, okay? Then I think we're going to call our little guy done, and then we'll start working on the lantern again. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get our little fine paintbrush here. Let me see if I have one that's just a little bit finer. So I'm just going to take a little black paint, like I'm telling you guys, and go around that eye, just to make that eye stand out just a little bit more, okay? So let me see if I can get this on here real quick and then I'll show you. So I just went ahead and put a little bit of black there, okay? Just to highlight that eye a little bit. Wipe my fingers off now. Okay. So I got some clear glue here, and what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this clear glue and go put it over the eye, give it a little bit of shine and protect the paint. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. Now just get us just a finish up there. Remove on me. Okay. Now let's just take our paintbrush. Get us just a little bit of white. And see if you can't just highlight those teeth just a little bit. You can get a bit more white paint. Thanks. Clean my paintbrush again here real quick. Okay, let's try that again, guys. Okay, I think that's all we're going to put on ours. So I just put a light little bit of white on the teeth, okay? Okay guys, so I think this, we're going to call this skull done. So now, since it's getting late, I'll be back tomorrow and we'll start working on the lantern. And I think I'm going to add a little spider and do a little bit to him, just to finish off the project, okay? So I'll see you soon. Okay, guys. So here we are. And I painted my lamp black. That's what I wanted mine, okay? But I didn't have flat black, or I would use that. So I only had shiny, so I'm coming back, if you look, and I'm just taking a piece of sandpaper and lightly sanding it down so it gives it a dual effect.
But you could, if you don't have black spray paint, you could use black acrylic paint.
Yeah, you could just paint like that. It just take a little longer.
If you have the matte black, so it isn't shiny, you know, with that or something.
So that's why I'm doing that to this one. Well, then plus I wanted to have a couple spots where the paint was coming off, so it looks more authentic, right? More old. I got a little spider here that we're going to put on the lamp that my wife's going to work on. Okay, here's the fun part. So here's that bottle that we made look like broken glass.
Look at that. Look, you guys, that looks so real. Okay? And remember, that was just a apple juice bottle.
Yeah.
Plastic. And it turned out literally just like glass. It's really cool.
And then I got some little pieces of it, right? And I frosted them too. Hold on a second, I'll show you.
That frosted glass stuff really works. We've never used it before, and it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's
so we bought this
but
bottle of frosted glass
by Rust-Oleum
for a different project that we haven't got around to yet. And I thought, hey, maybe I can take a little bit of that, put on this plastic apple juice ball, and make it look authentic. And it really does. I don't know if it shows up that good in the camera, but it really does.
It really does. Well, look here. Wait a minute. Show them this. This is what it turns out like from that. I mean, I'm sure, unless you haven't used it, it really works. Look at that.
Here's regular plastic.
And show them the big piece with it.
Here's a big piece. See the difference? See how it kind of dulled it down?
Like this. Let me show you.
So,
look at that, you guys. So
isn't that cool?
So cool. So
now
I can have my Sprite back. But it's so worth it, and you know, you can do a
what
lot.
I'm gonna do. I still got a little bit of sanding on here, but how often is it you put a broken piece of glass back in the lantern? That's funny, huh? I'm gonna take the hot glue on the lamp right here. I'm gonna glue this piece in.
You can't really see it. Let me
bring that down. There you go. We're gonna glue that in like that, so it's got a busted piece. And then on the bottom of the lamp, I'm going to take those little broken pieces that I made.
Yeah.
And they'll be on the bottom. Okay? So right now, I'm going to glue these in. And then I'll show you. And then I'm going to go back and finish sanding this down. Okay? So, we'll see you in a minute. Okay? And here's our oil lantern so far. So you see me do the glass. How I did it, I glued it in, put the broken pieces on the bottom here. I didn't like this side of the skull so white, so I just took yellow and brown paint, mixed it together, found the color that I liked, and went ahead and brushed it on this side. Okay. I didn't want a pure white because she still kind of got some skin and stuff left, so obviously this side of the skull wouldn't be pure white. And you see me gluing the hair on. Okay. So on the back, if I turn her around, I took one of those round lights from Dollar Tree and cut the skull on the back and put it in there. Okay? So what I'm thinking now is I'm going to take some black paint. I'm going to paint this green, paint this black so it ties in more, okay? Then I was figuring I'll take some more of the hair that we was using. After this is painted black, and we're going to add some more hair around it. It'll disguise this light. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Is I got my heat gun heating up. I'm gonna paint this black, which I guess we can hurry and put some paint on there. And then we're gonna put some more hair around that to disguise it, because we want the skull to light up. Okay. And we're going to turn this into an oil lantern. So after we get this part done, we're going to put a wick on it. And I found the cap off a Sprite bottle. And we'll put that on the front and make it look like it's an old oil lantern. So that's what we're doing. So let's take a little black paint. Let's paint this so it's not green. So let's disguise a little bit. Just don't get it on your switch, so you can turn your light on and off. So let's get a little color on there. I had a different idea for the light at first, and then I thought, hey, this be easier. Oh, and I almost forgot to say, I had a piece of that plastic chain from Dollar Tree. As you can see, that's what's holding the skull. And gives it a creepy vibe, like you stuck a chain in there to hold the skull there. Okay, so there's a little black on that. So let's scoot that to the side for a second. Okay, I'm just going to take some more of the Elmer's clear glue and go ahead and put a little glue in spots where I want to add some hair now to kind of disguise that light. So if we turn her around, we can add a little bit of glue. Well, if I can get it to come out. As you can see, I'm just going to add more hair, okay? Around on the back. Can you see that? So I'm just going to go ahead, I can get this hair around this how I want mine, and I'll be back to show you from there. So here we go. And I added, the amount of hair I wanted. Now you could add as much as you want, but this is what I decided to do. Okay? And I was thinking, okay, let's take it up a notch. So what I'm thinking of doing, gonna do, is I'm gonna take a little bit of this hair, and I'm going to put a little bit of hair pieces right here on the edge of this broken shade, okay? So it looked like when she stuck the skull in there, you know, that it got caught and it tore out a little bit of the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and glue a little bit of hair right here, just a couple little pieces so it gives it that effect, okay? And then I'm thinking, okay, every oil lantern has to have a cap, you know, that you undo so you can fill it full of oil. So I got a Sprite cap, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that on right here, okay? So you got the spot to open up to put the lamp oil. So that's where I'm at. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that Sprite bottle on. Put a little bit of hair off the edge of this, okay? And that thing I'm going to take a little bit of red paint and put just a little bit of red paint above the hair, okay? Okay guys, so here we are. So I went ahead and I put the hair right there, okay? And I took a little bit of just some red paint and put just a little bit of red on there, okay? So it looks like blood. And I was going to use this cap, right? But I found this other one I liked it. It's just a little bit taller cap. And I went ahead and glued that on there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and paint this cap. I think gold and put a little black on it, you know, so it looks like it's been worn. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then my wife is going to finish up this spider. Obviously, we got to have a spider on there, right? So we're going to have a spider on here. When she's done, I think we're just going to stick her to the top right here. Okay. Then I'm going to get some of the cheap spider webs, you know, that you get from Walmart, Dollar Tree, or wherever. And we're going to stretch a few webs around this and try to be really intricate with them and make it look really like they're really real. Okay. So that's what I got going. I'm going to go ahead, paint the cap. My wife's going to get the spider done. We'll get a few webs on it. And I think that'll be it. And then we'll be back and show you the finale. Okay guys, so I went ahead, thought I was going to show you the finale after, but forgot. I had to make a wick, so I just took some shoelaces and my wife glued them together and I just painted them up. Right, because oil lantern has to have a wick. So this wick is going to go back here and we're going to glue it in. Okay, so there's a wick to the oil lamp. And we went ahead and painted our spider up. And I figured I'm going to take a little blue and a paintbrush and I'm going to put a little bit of blue on just the edges of the glass right here, so that you notice it, okay? And a little bit on the glass I put on the base, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this blue on here, and for the glass. Then my wife's going to come in and she's going to put the spider on. She's excited to put the spider on. We're going to put the spider on here, and then we're going to put the webs. Oh, I forgot, guys, and glue the wick on. Okay, and then it'll be finished. Then we'll show you it all done and lit up.
Hello everyone. So here we are. It's time to add the spider web and this spider. Okay, so I just got some of this fake spider web stuff, and we're just going to kind of stretch it kind of really thin around so you don't block the whole thing, but you can see there's definitely a spider on there. I'm just going to kind of hook it on here. Alright, once I can get it to do it. And I'm going to go to the back of it. I'm going to carefully turn it around. Go to the back. Just a very little piece. But you could do yours thicker, you know, if you want more webbing or whatever, but we just wanted to still be able to show the face of it and not have it completely covered with spider web where you don't see it. Oop, and don't do that.
Just something else you gotta be careful how you move it.
Yes, be careful. I'm gonna have to probably get it to stay there better. Well, that's gonna fall still. I didn't realize it wasn't attached right there.
No, it just sits there.
Okay. Let's see. So just mess with yours till you get it how you want. I'm glad it sticks to each other, the spider web, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we're just going to glue the spider right here so you can see it, but he's crawled up to the top. Just take your glue gun, a little spot of glue, and stick him where you want him. We're just going to go right there. And we will have a complete build. So, we'll be back to show you the finale.